Hello, I'm John Graham. Earlier this year, I was honored to become the President and CEO of CPP Investments and serve an institution that plays a vital role in the lives of Canadians, especially now. It's been an extremely challenging year for everyone. Dealing with immediate threats to our health and our families doesn't leave room to think about the future. That's where CPP Investments comes in. This year, our organization never paused, despite personal and professional challenges of operating during a global pandemic. We stayed firmly focused on the long term, building and sustaining the CPP fund, so you can have peace of mind about the foundation of your financial security in retirement. Whether you are just starting your first job, midway through your career, or getting close to retirement, you can continue to trust the CPP will be there for generations of retirees to come. One of our highlights this year was to meet directly with Canadians in a series of virtual public meetings to hear the issues that were top of mind. I am pleased to report we achieved a 20.4% net return this year, the best performance since we started over 20 years ago. That 20% return represents net income of nearly $84 billion, bringing total assets to $497.2 billion. As the fund nears $500 billion, about 7 years ahead of when it was projected to, I remain confident in our global team's ability to deliver superior results for beneficiaries. We continue to deliberately and prudently design an investment portfolio that is optimally diversified by asset type, by region, and by sector. This allows us to withstand short-term volatility and market events while generating sustained superior returns over time. This year, we experienced significant extremes, historic lows, and then market highs. Yet the strength of our diversified investing approach contributed to double-digit long-term performance and continued resilience of the fund. Over the last 10 years, we've earned a 10.8% net return and generated $303.9 billion in net income after all costs. As we look ahead, I'm optimistic about the future, both for the economic recovery in our communities and for the health and well-being of Canadians. CPP investment colleagues around the world share my optimism. Here is more from them on how we are investing for your future.
COVID has impacted virtually every aspect of our lives and our world. CPP Investments and our portfolio companies have certainly not been immune. The closure of businesses and the inability to travel internationally has really accelerated the innovative technologies and digital tools that we and our portfolio companies had already begun to explore. We have invested in the online delivery of education, courses, and curriculum. And particularly through the pandemic and the impact of COVID, our online offering has been a game changer.
We see the renewable energy markets changing materially over the next 10 years. The low cost and the increasing cost competitiveness of electricity means that renewable energies is the best of both worlds. It is meeting climate change objectives, which historically were the driver for investment in renewable energy, but now it's being driven by demand for electricity and being the lowest cost source of electricity in both markets.
There are a few very interesting areas that we've been focused on recently. One of them is new drug classes. So all of this scientific innovation has enabled the industry to develop cells that are drugs, vaccines made out of genetic material, and a wide range of other new drug classes that have never existed before. Blood-based tests are being developed, which ought to enable us to identify cancer much earlier and enable curative treatment.
There are really three things I'd love Canadians to know about how we invest in innovation. Firstly, we have a broad and all-encompassing view of innovation. We see innovation at every turn, and there are opportunities to innovate across all of the industries we cover. Secondly, we have a global presence and deep networks and expertise that helps us identify and access very unique opportunities to invest in innovation. And lastly, the innovative companies that we've invested in are the ones that are ultimately going to change and actually improve the way we live in the world.
Our entire team around the world continues to invest the CPP fund so you can focus on what matters most: your family, your health, and your well-being. Be safe, and thank you.